Today, I'm making a stuffed rolled pork tenderloin for my meal prep. We're gonna take one of those Costco pork tenderloins, spread a whole bunch of mushrooms and shallots in the middle, roll it up, sear it, roast it, and make a gourmet freaking meal prep. You don't wanna miss it. This is Coach Sean's kitchen. One of the members at my CrossFit gym said, "I bet you can't make a gourmet meal prep." Well, here you go. I don't know anything more fancy than a stuffed pork tenderloin. Well, I could think of a few things, but they wouldn't be healthy for a meal prep. Anyways, like, subscribe, you know the drill. Let's get down to cooking. So to start off this meal prep, we're gonna begin by prepping our filling. And it's gonna be really similar to a beef tenderloin Dijon? I think so. Where we're gonna take a whole bunch of mushrooms and shallots, sweat them out so that we reduce all the moisture inside of it, and that will be our filling. So if you have a food processor, feel free to use that to get an incredibly fine dice on all of these vegetables. I don't have one. It's currently on my wedding registry, 50 days away. If you guys want to donate to Coach Sean's wedding, link in description. Once you got a nice fine cut on all of your vegetables, we're gonna head over to the cast iron and sweat them out. I've got all my veggies in with a huge pinch of salt. Now, as soon as you start cooking this, all the water is going to pull out of the vegetables. It's gonna flood the pan. Just wait for it to evaporate. Our main goal here is to get that water out of the pan. Feel free to use as much or as little oil as you want to here. It really comes down to your macros. Once I no longer see any moisture in the bottom of this pan, and I've got a little bit of browning on the inside, I'm going to pull my cast iron from the heat and I'm going to prep my pork tenderloin. Now, as far as butterflying this pork tenderloin, it seems scary and complicated, but I promise it's not too bad. You just have to go for it. So I want you to think about making cuts into your pork tenderloin about 1/3 of the way through, and envision that you're gonna slowly start unwrapping it until I've got a nice flat piece of pork tenderloin. Smash it out to get it a little bit thinner. If you got a mallet, feel free to use it. I like using the back of my hand because I get a bit more control over it. Now, once our pork tenderloin is nice and flat, I'm gonna hit it with some salt and pepper. Then I'm going to spread my mushroom and shallot mixture all over the middle. Now, if you wanted to add any fresh herbs, now would be the time to do that. I have some thyme that I'm just gonna pull the leaves right off the stem and sprinkle on the inside. Then I'm ready to roll this pork tenderloin up. Once you've got your pork tenderloin rolled up, go and grab some butcher's twine to put a few knots in it so that it stays rolled up. Then we're gonna head over to our cast iron to sear the outside of these pork tenderloins. My cast iron is over medium heat and I'm gonna give it a good sear all around the outside, looking at about 2 minutes per side. When I'm almost finished searing the outside of my pork tenderloin, I'm gonna take a few heads of garlic, put them down in the bottom of the pan, and then arrange my pork tenderloin right over the top. If you've watched my previous pork tenderloin video, this is how I love to do it. Feel free to check out that video in the description below. Now, this is gonna go into a 300-degree oven until the internal temps hits 140 to 145 or whatever temperature you like your pork tenderloin to be done. Now, let's go ahead and see how this turned out. We've got beautiful color on the outside, but all I care about is that inside. So slicing it right open, you can see that we have a wonderful layer of that mushroom and shallot mixture. Giving it a taste, it is wonderful. I've been eating pork tenderloin left and right during the past few weeks because of my diet, and this has been a wonderful change of pace to have something that just spices it up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this stuffed pork tenderloin. Do you want to see more of these fancy gourmet meal preps, or do you guys like the basics? Let me know what you want to see. I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of Coach Sean's Kitchen, and as always, you can make anything homemade and healthy.